Have you ever wondered how some people seem to have an uncanny ability to influence others and make a significant impact with minimal effort? It's not magic, it's a deep understanding of human psychology. By the end of this video, you'll explore 7 powerful psychological techniques that can help you tap into the minds of others and shape interactions in your favor. Certainly, let's expand on the first 3 points in a more conversational and detailed manner. Number 1. The power of mirroring. Copy to connect. Mirroring is a subtle yet powerful way to build rapport with someone. It involves copying the body language, tone of voice, and even the speech patterns of the person you are communicating with. When done subtly, it signals to the other person that you are on the same wavelength. This can make conversations flow more smoothly and increase feelings of trust and connection. Imagine you're in a meeting and you notice that the person you're speaking with leans forward slightly as they emphasize a point. If you lean forward as well, you're mirroring their body language, which can make the person feel understood and valued without them even realizing why. Similarly, if they use certain words frequently, sprinkling these into your conversation can further enhance this subconscious bonding. Mirroring works because it taps into our fundamental desire for connection and validation. When someone reflects our own behaviors back to us, it reinforces our own feelings and thoughts, making us feel affirmed and accepted. This technique is incredibly valuable in negotiations, interviews, or even in personal relationships because it not only helps in building rapport but also in lowering defenses, making people more open to discussion and agreement. Number 2. Positive reinforcement. Boost others to influence. Positive reinforcement is all about encouraging a behavior in others by offering positive feedback or rewards. This could be in the form of compliments, smiles, or even verbal acknowledgments that show you appreciate what someone else is doing or saying. The key here is to be genuine because people can usually tell when compliments are not heartfelt, and this could backfire. For instance, if a colleague delivers a presentation and you genuinely found a part of it insightful, telling them specifically what you appreciated not only boosts their confidence but also makes them feel positively towards you. This can lead to a more cooperative relationship and might even make them more inclined to support your future projects or ideas. Positive reinforcement is powerful because it not only makes people feel good about themselves but also associates those positive feelings with you. This makes them more likely to be open to your ideas or suggestions in the future. It's a fundamental principle found in both human psychology and animal training. Rewarding desirable behavior increases the likelihood of it being repeated. So in your interactions, look for opportunities to affirm positive actions or behaviors, and you'll find this can significantly influence how others perceive and interact with you. Number 3. The door-in-the-face technique. Ask big, then small. The door-in-the-face technique is a fascinating psychological tactic used to get a person to agree to a smaller request by first asking them for a much larger one that you expect them to refuse. This technique is based on the principle of reciprocity, where the person feels obligated to offer a concession after rejecting your initial larger request. Here's how it might play out. Suppose you're fundraising for a charity. You might first ask potential donors for a large amount, say $500. Most people will refuse this larger amount. Shortly afterward, you ask for a much more reasonable amount, like $50. Compared to the initial $500, this smaller amount now seems much more feasible, and people are more likely to agree to it because it feels like a smaller, more manageable contribution. This technique works well because it makes the person feel like they are somehow compromising with you, which plays into the human desire to be fair and balanced in social exchanges. After turning down your larger request, many feel a subtle pressure to respond more favorably to the smaller ask, balancing out their initial refusal. This method can be particularly effective in sales, negotiations, or any scenario where you need a yes but expect initial resistance. Number 4. Foot in the door phenomenon. Start small and build. The foot in the door technique revolves around getting a small yes first, which then paves the way for bigger yeses. This is because once someone agrees to a small request, they are more psychologically inclined to maintain consistency in their behavior and agree to larger requests. This method is incredibly effective because it builds on the commitment gradually. Imagine you're trying to encourage a friend to start a new fitness regimen with you. Instead of asking them to commit to a month-long program right off the bat, you might first ask them just to join you for a single workout. After they've agreed and participated in one session, they're more likely to feel committed and continue the activity. They start seeing themselves as someone who works out with you, which makes it easier to agree to more extensive commitments. This technique leverages the desire for consistency in our self-perception and actions. Once we have agreed to something small, it's easier to agree to more because we want to see ourselves as consistent. This approach is particularly useful in sales, volunteer work, and personal habit formation. Number 5. Use of scarcity. Scarcity is a powerful motivator. When something is scarce, its perceived value increases, and people are more likely to take action to acquire it. This principle can be applied by emphasizing the exclusivity or limited availability of an offer. For example, saying something like, "This offer ends tomorrow," or "We only have a few spots left," can create a sense of urgency that encourages people to act immediately. Let's say you're selling tickets to a workshop. By indicating that tickets are running out, or that the discounted early bird registration ends soon, you stimulate a fear of missing out, FOMO. This not only speeds up the decision-making process, but also increases the likelihood of people committing on the spot rather than procrastinating or deciding against it. Scarcity works because it taps into our basic survival instinct, not just for resources, but for opportunities. It's a trigger for quick decision-making, which is why it's so commonly used in marketing and sales strategies. It's about creating value through rarity. Number 6. The halo effect. Good looks equal good person. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. If someone is attractive, successful, or otherwise possesses a particularly positive trait, we are more likely to attribute other positive qualities to them, such as intelligence, kindness, or competence. This can be strategically used to influence others' perceptions. For example, consider a job interview scenario. Dressing well and presenting yourself confidently can lead to the interviewer perceiving you as more professional and capable even before you've answered any questions. This initial positive judgment can color their perception of your answers and increase your chances of securing the job. This effect is not just about physical appearance, but any trait that can cast a positive light on you. Whether it's your punctuality, your eloquence, or your ability to make others feel at ease. By consciously presenting these traits, you can create a positive initial impression that carries through in your interactions. Number 7. Controlled disclosure. Share secrets wisely. Controlled disclosure involves selectively sharing personal information to create an aura of trust and intimacy. By revealing certain details about yourself, you can make the other person feel special and trusted, encouraging them to open up in return. However, the key is to share strategically and retain some personal boundaries, ensuring you don't overshare or make yourself too vulnerable. Think of it like peeling an onion. You reveal layers gradually, each disclosure carefully calibrated to deepen the relationship without compromising your own position. For instance, sharing a challenging personal experience in a professional setting might demonstrate resilience and build empathy, but it needs to be done in a way that is relevant and not overly personal. This technique is particularly valuable in settings where trust is essential but hard to build quickly, such as in therapy, coaching, or deep friendships. It's about finding a balance between being open and maintaining an element of mystery that keeps others engaged and respectful of your boundaries. Controlled disclosure is like weaving a tapestry where each thread adds strength and color, enhancing the overall picture without revealing too much. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.